Hello? Again. My name is Jack Wallen. You may or you may not know me. That is irrelevant. But I'm here to give you some advice. That's really it. Advice. Now, this advice applies to just being human, being an artist, or whatever. Hopefully, it's something that you can use to make your life a little better. I'm a fairly transparent person. And the last 3 months of last year were probably the hardest months of my life. And trust me when I say that I've had a very, very hard life. But fortunately, I came out of those 3 months with a few very important lessons about me, about the people around me, about the things I do. I'm trying to share those lessons with you so that hopefully your life can be a little better. And this one particular lesson I'm going to impart on you today is probably a heck of a lot more important than you believe it to be. And it took me 55 years of living to realize it. For the longest time in my life, since I was a child, and that was partially because of the environment that I was raised in, it was very, very important that people liked me, that people accepted me, that people liked the things that I did and the person that I was. And it became so bad in my life that I allowed it to rule me. I needed acceptance. I needed people, I needed their approval. It's just like on social media. You know, when you log into Facebook or Twitter, and instead of just doom scrolling through and reading the things that your friends have said, the first thing you do is you click on that little button to see how many people have responded to the things that you've posted, and you hope, like hell, that they've all responded positively. And when they do, it gives you this lift. And when they don't, it can be kind of crushing. That's kind of what I'm talking about. This desperate need for approval from other people. That is external. And that was me. I wanted to please everybody. I wanted to make everybody happy and smile and laugh and cry at times. And I did it at my own expense. When people didn't like the books that I wrote, I took it so personally. It hurt. Partially because when people didn't like my books, that means fewer and fewer people were going to buy my books. And I took that as a personal and professional affront. And as an actor, for the longest time, everything I did so that other people, be it my fellow actors, the audience, or the director, would approve of me and my talents. Because I needed that approval. I need that validity, that validation that said, yes, I can do this. None of it ever came from inside of me. And now at 55 years old, I have finally had the epiphany of epiphanies. Now, that doesn't mean that I have applied this to perfection. It's still a work in progress, as am I in totality. But here's the thing, and this is key, so pay attention. You're either going to like me or not. You're either going to like the books that I write or not. You're either going to like the performances that I give on stage or not. And whether you do or don't doesn't mean that I'm not valid or worthy. Because simply enough, it's all opinion. I can't please everybody. And when I try to please everybody, my work becomes inferior. Because here's the crux of the issue. I have to please me. The work that I create, the books that I write, the performances that I give, I have to be the one that validates them. I have to look at a book that I've written and say, I worked my ass off on this work, on this book. And I'm proud of it. Think about it this way. Just the act of writing a book is not easy. So in the end, I just have to be proud that I did it. I have to be proud that I can stand on stage and deliver a performance that came from the heart. And to all of the people around me, I have to spread kindness and do good things and be a good person. And if that's not enough, then there's nothing I can do. So the truth of the matter is, you're either going to like me or not. That is your decision. That is your opinion. But if I take that personally, then I'm going to have a lot of trouble just going through life. Because let's face it, the simple act of existing today is hard enough. If all of a sudden we layer onto that this junk, this external junk, this desperate need for the approval of others, how do we continue forward as a person? And as long as we're doing good and spreading kindness and doing our best at everything that we possibly can, then that's going to have to be enough. Not everybody's going to like my books. That's just a simple fact. Not everybody's going to stand up and applaud my performances on stage. That's just a simple fact. Not everybody is going to like me. And I have to be okay with that. Because if I am, then all of a sudden I can go, I like me. I like me as a person. I'm proud of the work I've done. And then you can also go, I know who's truly important in my life. My loved ones. They like me. And if they like me, that should be enough. Well, with the addition of me liking me. Now, the trick here, and I think that this is part of why how I became who I am, is that you have to, there's a fine line between what I'm talking about and dipping your toes into the water's ego. Ego is very tricky. And when I graduated from high school and I went into undergraduate school, I was leaving this horrible environment, this violent and abusive environment. And I went into undergraduate school, and all of a sudden I was free. I was free from all that hell. And I could just be me. And I allowed that to take control of me, and my ego became out of control. Partially because I wound up in a situation where it was a big fish in a small pond, on top of all of the other stuff that I was dealing with. And it wasn't until I got to graduate school that ego was just beaten out of me. And then I left grad school, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I don't know anymore. I don't have this ego driving me forward. I need your acceptance. Will you tell me that I'm good? Because I don't know anymore. And doubt just kept bringing me down. And imposter syndrome just crushed me. And until last year, imposter syndrome continued to kick me in the ass. Until I realized the solution for imposter syndrome is just not caring whether or not everybody likes my work. And as long as I like it, then I can look imposter syndrome in the eyes and say, not today, my friend. Now, this isn't easy. It is, for someone like me, it is not easy to go, I don't care if people like me or not. That's a little harsh. I do care if people like me. But it doesn't motivate me. It doesn't control me now. If you like me, then great. That's wonderful. Because what that means is I have another ally on my side in this heinous world. And to be able to call you friend means so much to me. But I have to like myself. I have to accept my work. Because if I can't do that, and I have to constantly be reaching out to external forces to validate me, that's a slippery slope. So if you're listening to me right now, just know that you're good enough. You're a good person and your work is good. And as long as you're spreading kindness and doing good things and helping people, you're special. And that matters. And you don't need me to tell you that. Life doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. Accept yourself. Don't worry so much about what other people think about you or your work. Just do your best and know that that's good enough. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.